friends, and welcome to the 78th episode of the Intermission Show at SLO REP. It is Friday, February 26, 2021, and we have an absolutely vacation-needing, John Irving reading, daily calorie intake exceeding show for you today. Like every single thing we do here within these four walls at SLO REP, this show would not be possible without the support of several generous sponsors who've been tuning into the show each and every week since we started cranking them out last April. It is time for our sponsor spotlight. Today's episode of the Intermission Show has been generously sponsored by everyone's favorite performer, theater lover, and art supporter, Mary Ann Maloof. Mary Ann wanted to reach out and sponsor this episode because she thought you could use a little pickup. Well, you're absolutely right, my dear friend, and nothing makes all of us here momentarily forget about the god-awful pandemic-infused waking nightmare we still find ourselves navigating than a large helping of cold, hard cash. Mission accomplished! Thank you so much, Mary Ann. You have made every single person here at the Intermission Show feel cooler than Donald O'Connor in 1948! And yes, sirree, Robert, it is our favorite day of the week. It is Friday! Which means that it's time to beam KERRY DIMAGGIO magically into the show to introduce some incredible young artists and to give out next week's ACT Spotlight assignment. And since The Office is no longer on Netflix, we're beginning an all-new weekly segment today in which we will scour the internet to find the best virtual and online performances you can stream this week to get your theater fix. And finally, we'll turn the SLO REP spotlight toward another amazing BIPOC playwright as we look at Jackie Drury's 2019 Pulitzer Prize-winning play, FAIRVIEW. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy that you're here. All right, campers, we have a jam-packed show, so let's hop right to it. It is our favorite day of the week. It is Friday.
Oh yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air. You don't care. Oh yeah, go your neighborhood.
Which means it's time to beam KERRY DIMAGGIO into the building to introduce some incredible young artists and to give out next week's assignment. It is time for our ACT Spotlight.
Hello everyone, welcome back to ACT Spotlight. Last week, I asked our students to create some blocking for a short scene from the Jungle Book based on the beats that they had identified in the text. This is a scene between Mowgli the human and Kaa the boa constrictor. And as we know, there's some tension between these two characters. Kaa is constantly trying to make Mowgli his next meal, and young Mowgli, who has been told not to trust the snake, is always just a hair's breadth away from being hypnotized by Kaa. In this scene, Mowgli is on the run from his caretakers, and Kaa, sensing an opportunity, tries to gain Mowgli's trust. London has blocked this scene using SLO REP stage as her set. Take a look at how she visually demonstrates that push and pull between these characters.
Hello everyone, it's London. This week, our task was to block a scene from the Jungle Book in which we added a couple of beats from last week. So let's get right into it. The first bit of blocking I have is the start of the scene. Kaa entering up right and Mowgli standing up left to kind of give us that counter, but have them still be closer to each other. Then when Mowgli says, "Oh, go away, leave me alone," I had Mowgli walking down left to that little corner right by the sound booth. And Mowgli, my third bit of blocking is Mowgli turning out to the audience right by the sound booth when Kaa says, "Let me look at you." So right after Kaa says that, Mowgli will turn out to the audience right by the sound booth. Then as that's happening, when Kaa is saying, "You don't want me to look at you, then you look at me," he's gradually walking towards Mowgli, and then "Then you look at me," turning Mowgli's head. Then when Mowgli says, "No, sir, I know what you're trying to do, Kaa. I think it'd be nice if Mowgli backed away from Kaa to that down right corner, so on the other side of the stage, again with the counter against Kaa right there on the left and the right." And then, so after Kaa goes, "You do? You don't trust me?" When Mowgli says no, I'm gonna have him look out to that audience, so he's looking at Kaa before then, and then on his second no, having him turn out to the audience. Then when Kaa says, "Then there's nothing I can do to help," looking out to that audience on downstage left. Then when Mowgli says, "You want to help me," having him turn back to Kaa, saying, kind of asking, "You actually want to help me?" So to kind of get another connection in there. And then Kaa turning towards Mowgli again on the "Certainly, I can see to it that you never have to leave this jungle," and gradually walking towards Mowgli during that bit of the couple of lines right there where they're talking to each other. And then when Mowgli says, so they're gradually walking together, and when Mowgli says, "I don't trust anyone anymore," I think it'd be fit if Mowgli sort of stopped walking towards Kaa and then walked up to right in between up, center, and upright, so that little spot that's right in between there, kind of standing there, looking at Kaa. So that's on the "I don't trust anyone." And then Kaa starting to hypnotize Mowgli, and we get that bit of talking, and then Shere Khan talks from off stage. And then Kaa's last line on "Quick hide, it's Shere Khan." I think it'd be fit if Mowgli went to try and hide behind a tree. That's up stage right, about where he is, and then Kaa hiding behind a rock or another bit of jungle structure, maybe in the down left corner, to have, again with the counter, but also have them hiding. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all soon. Bye!
Great job, London. I feel like you have a really strong grasp on what's going on in that scene, and you did an excellent job of showing that through your blocking. Okay, on to next week's assignment. This week we are going to be focusing on poster design. I would like you to design the poster of a play or musical. So to start off, I want to show you an example of a poster that I think is really well designed. So this is a poster for the production of Peter Pan, designed by Laura Whitehouse. Here's what I love about this design. First and foremost, this design beautifully captures the joy and freedom and fantasy that is the heart of the Peter Pan story. The artwork also instantly gets to what's familiar about the story of Peter Pan. That image of Peter crowing while soaring high over the skyline of London is recognizable and very nostalgic to most people. And the green color palette also references the costume that Peter wears in the Disney movie. At the same time, though, the graphics and the font used here on this poster are aggressive and bold and modern, which makes us feel like the production will likely be exciting or new in some way. That combination of familiar and new put together with your clear graphics and your very easy to read text is show poster gold. So with that in mind, I want you to design your own show poster. I've put together some information to help you along, including some info on colors and font and themes. Check that out, do some thinking, do some research, do some rough drafts to figure out how your design can get to the heart of the story and also make people want to come see this show. You can choose any play or musical, it's up to you, and it's also up to you if you'd like to design by hand or work with a computer. When you have your final draft, record a video of yourself talking about your design, breaking it down, and telling us about the choices that you made. Please also scan or take a picture of your design and upload that to us as well so that we can clearly show it on the Intermission show as you're talking about it. Submit those things to us by Thursday at 3 p.m., please. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I can't wait to see your designs next week. Bye.
Thank you so much to Kerry. And remember, young artists, we will need your submissions in our digital hands no later than 3 p.m. on March 4th. That's Thursday, March 4th at 3 p.m. sharp. We love to see your work. So get out there and start creating. All right, it is time to see what's streaming out there in the theater world this week. PlayView Virtual Theater Company is presenting a Zoom reading of The Typist by Murray Shishkel. This online reading stars Michael McKeon and Annette O'Toole and tells the story of a married law student, Paul Cunningham, who takes a job as a typist for an ad agency where he meets the lonely spinster Sylvia. Through a series of flashbacks and flash forwards, the story of their relationship and developing romance unfolds. Proceeds from this virtual reading will benefit the Williamstown Theater Festival. You can get access to this production for only $5 by visiting playperview.com. And if you are missing the rehearsal room, you can tune into the New York Theater Barn's new work show every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New York Theater Barn's development series zooms in on a musical in progress. Each episode features selections from 2 musicals and conversations with their creators. This show is free on YouTube each week, and you can find it at the link in the description. All right, it is time to highlight some essential BIPOC voices in theater. Today's featured artist is Jackie Drury. Drury is a New York Theater Workshop usual suspect and a MacDowell Colony Fellow. She is a graduate of Brown University's MFA playwriting program, where she received the David Wickham Prize in playwriting. Her play Social Creatures was commissioned by Trinity Rep in Providence, Rhode Island, and premiered there in March 2013. In 2019, her play Fairview won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Fairview tells the story of Beverly, who is organizing the perfect dinner for her grandmother's birthday, but everything seems doomed from the start. The silverware is all wrong, the carrots need chopping, and the radio is on the fritz. What first appears to be a family comedy takes a sharp, sly turn into a startling examination of deep-seated paradigms about race in America. Ben Brantley of the New York Times called Fairview dazzling and ruthless, one of the most exquisitely arranged ambushes of an unsuspecting audience in years. A glorious, scary reminder of the unmatched power of live theater to rattle, roil, and shake us wide awake. You can order a copy of this groundbreaking script at the link in the description. All of us here at SLO REP encourage our patrons to get to know this important play. That'll wrap up today's episode of the Intermission Show at SLO REP. Thank you so much to Marianne Maloof for making this episode possible. You have made every single person here at the Intermission Show feel lighter than Fred Astaire and Eleanor Powell in That's Entertainment. And as always, thank you to all medical personnel, essential employees, county and city officials, and everyone who is working around the clock to bring this crisis to an end as soon as possible. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Hug who you are allowed to hug, and have a wonderful weekend. And please, please, wear your masks.